Hello and welcome to Plot Twisters.
This is a podcast where we take movies and twist the plot to see if we can make them better, and if not, more kick-ass.
At the moment, we're talking about teen movies from the 80s.
On this episode, The Karate Kid from 1984.
I'm Emma, and oh, thanks for nothing then. Like I didn't have enough problems already. Now I gotta carry your weight too. Don't do me any more favors, okay, pal?
I'm Anders, and 1 week, 5 weeks. How many weeks is weeks?
Konbawa, Andesu.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. That's good evening in Japanese.
How do you say, welcome to my dojo?
Yokoso?
Yokoso my
Yokoso?
dojo. Yokoso dojo.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Japan?
No,
I've never been
I
to
haven't.
Japan. I'd like to
I've
go.
never been to Japan. It is number one at the top of my places I would like to go to, and has been for most of my life, and I have not been.
Nice. Mine's I want to go to Pompeii, even though I feel a bit uncomfortable about it. I'd quite like to see the standing up remains of volcano victims.
Let me tell you, I've
When
been
you say
there.
it that way, it doesn't sound that appealing. You've been there?
I've been there, and I went to Herculaneum as well, which is the place which was much closer to Vesuvius.
Oh,
And that's
man.
like it was just fried.
So
It
people
was
were
just totally fried.
more fried up.
Yeah, and then you've got the volcano victims, and then you've got the places in Pompeii where there's like a bar and there's like graffiti and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
And it's great. Would recommend. It's very cool.
I'd like to think about, you think about what would happen what if there was a modern day Pompeii? And not Pompeii, right? Because that's been done. But I mean a modern day Pompeii situation in like, Slough or something, right?
Yeah.
And what would the future humans try to see and feel and think and hear and be confused by?
Well, I think a lot of stuff wouldn't remain because we don't use as sturdy materials as we did back then. That everything there was made out of stone.
That's a good point. All of the stuff,
So-
all the good stuff would just melt away.
All the microchips would be fried.
Come on, people. Hey, designers, every time you design something cool and new, with your fancy flip phones and stuff.
Consider the impact that a pyroclastic surge would have on
Yeah.
the newest iPhone. Am I right?
Thanks for not upholding posterity and humanity, you narrow-sighted inventors. Come up with something. We don't have good things anymore. This is why we can't have nice things. It's all made out of plastic and meltable garbage.
Anyway,
Wait, no, you know what I mean?
do I know? Oh,
You're gonna try to segue into a movie we're supposed to talk about.
I was thinking, how is there where's the segue? Okay, no, let's pay some attention to this and do it. How can we segue from volcanoes in Pompeii to the Karate Kid?
Hey,
What's the link?
You know what they had to do
Word
after Pompeii when they had to clean up, wax
Okay.
on, wax off. And then sand my deck and paint it. Right? Then they have to do that after Pompeii, do the deck and sand. That's my best. I give it a C-. What about you? How can you transition from Pompeii to the Karate Kid?
Pompeii, Rome, pizza, parmesan,
Gria.
umami,
Oh.
soy sauce,
Yes.
Japanese cuisine,
Yes.
Japan, karate, the Karate Kid.
Mr. Miyagi. Nailed it. Wow. That's like some sort of a skill. I feel like you could start a hotline where people are like, I'm having a dinner party on Friday and I need to put two things together. I'm really nervous I won't be able to make the segue. Don't worry, sir. I've got you covered.
It's I obviously did a drama degree and I've done lots of acting and theatre stuff in my life, and it's just a really
natural.
common thing that you do. Well, you just do. It's just you play drama games. One of them is word association stuff all the time. Another one is rubber chicken. You know rubber chicken?
No, what's that?
You'll stand in a circle.
Right.
This is literally the way to get people hyped for anything.
Okay.
Is rubber chicken. Right?
Okay.
So you stand in a circle and you raise your right hand and you shake your hand and you go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you shake your left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
And then you shake your right foot. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you shake your left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you go back to your right hand and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, chicken!
It's very good, unless you have an underlying heart condition, and I would advise you to sit out of the game of Rubber Chicken.
Yeah, it can be quite stressful, but it literally gets a room of people pumped in a minute.
Nice.
It's great. So, talking about motivating people. See what I did there?
Yeah, nice. You're unstoppable.
I am. I can associate anything. Give me 2 things and I'll associate them right now.
Bananas and the metric system.
Bananas. Banana for scale.
Right.
Which is an internet term, you know.
Banana
you
for scale. No, you put a banana there.
You put a banana and you say banana for scale.
Which is crazy because bananas are wildly inconsistently sized. Am I wrong, people?
Measuring stuff, metric system.
Nice.
Easy.
Nice. Easy.
Anyway, the Karate Kid, we should really...
Hi-ya! Let's do it.
The Karate Kid is a film from 1984. It's about a kid who does karate.
Imagine that.
Imagine. Daniel has just moved to a place in America from another place in America. I never pay attention to that kind of thing.
He moved from Newark, New Jersey to Los Angeles.
Fine. Okay, well, I guess that's... Yeah, that maybe...
Remember, he kept saying, "Oh, where you from? I'm from Newark. I grew up in New Jersey. I'm New Jersey tough. Everything's tougher in New Jersey. Tell you that right now. Oh, California." He sounded like Rodney Dangerfield. He was like a young Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, and I guess they're all California shiny blonde people, aren't they? And then the mum goes, "Everyone's blonde here."
Do you notice they were all blonde here?
I guess I just... It's so often a thing in an American movie that they're like, "I moved from and I've come here to and every time I just tune out and I'm just like, they moved from cold America to warm America.
Did you like that? This was not the first, not the second, but by my count, the third movie we've watched about a single parent and a child moving from one part of America to California.
Yep.
Like every time. And the apartment they moved into, pretty sure that was a dingbat.
What was the one? Oh, yeah. What was the one with Natalie Portman?
Anywhere but here.
Anywhere but here. God, yeah.
Remember that. So, the mom was just like, let's go get ice cream. Everything's fine. Let's get ice cream.
Let's go get ice cream. Yeah, okay.
And then that one we watched, what was the one with what's her face?
Slums of Beverly Hills.
Slums of Beverly Hills.
Natasha Lyonne, yeah.
Ugh, I love her so much.
Doesn't it also happen in the witch one?
Oh, you're right. You mean witchy lady? The
craft.
The craft.
Yeah. Just moved from somewhere to somewhere else.
Oh my goodness.
Happens in Twilight as well. It's just like new kid arrived from other place is a great opportunity for teen drama, it turns out. Mean Girls as well.
Oh, it also happened in Heathers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Isn't it funny how sometimes we only recognize a pattern like so far in? We're like, oh, wait a minute.
It also happened in 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And it happened in Clueless, if you think about it, right? Remember when what's her name shows up and they're like, "You could be a farmer in those clothes," right? She's from New Jersey or New York and she moved to Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's weird. That's a weird thing. Hey, if you could think of more movies where teenagers move from a cold part of America to California and then have a hard time for a bit, write us at Plot Twisters.
It happens in Cruel Intentions.
It does happen in Cruel... That's the opposite.
But she moves opposite. From hot to cold. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. It's totally different.
So, yes. Anyway, back to the plot.
Sorry, we digressed. My apologies.
Sorry. So Daniel has moved from cold America to hot America, and he meets Elizabeth Shue.
It also it also happened in the movie with the boy with the radio that you didn't like.
Oh god,
Pump up the volume. It happened in Pump Up the Volume. He moved from the East Coast to California. Oh my god. Oh, this is really weird. I'm sorry. I'm turning off my microphone and I'm backing away from the situation, and I want to hear all about Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue is in this film. She plays Allie. She's very blonde and Californian. Daniel has like a 2-second conversation with her on a beach, and then her ex-boyfriend turns up and has a feud with him for the rest of the movie because of it, basically.
Yep.
So it's basically he gets bullied by this gang, Cobra Kai gang, where they're all into karate, and he essentially learns karate to get back at them, and then ends up there's a official competition at the end that he wins. That's basically it.
That's it.
But the real that's the skeleton of this movie.
Oh.
The heart of this movie is the relationship between Daniel, the Karate Kid, and his sensei, his teacher, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Who is a really interesting individual, really interesting character, but also more so I think I read a review. It was Roger Ebert's review that said he's a very original character. That was written at the time. It's a very unusual original character. And it was interesting to see that perspective because, of course, now it's not it's a very, very well-known character because I think this character of Mr. Miyagi is referenced so much and is such an archetype for so many other kind of characters.
That's true.
So at the time, he was quite a new and interesting character. But he is the maintenance person for the building that Daniel and his mum move into, and eventually kind of reveals himself to be a very skilled practitioner of karate, and he decides to teach Daniel, and he has a very unusual method of teaching, which is that he doesn't teach him how to fight. He teaches him the principles that will guide him through life. He teaches him balance. He teaches him patience. He teaches him about, how to repeat the same things over and over again. And it's kind of about it's about teaching a mindset.
It's also about teaching DIY. I mean, let's be honest here, right? He teaches him how to. He gets his house painted for free and his deck sanded and stained. And what else does he make this kid to do? Oh, clean the car. Why not clean the car? It's wax on, wax off. It was a bit. I know he's and that's great. And sorry, we'll talk about why he's such an archetype and is amazing. But like, hey, Mr. Miyagi, you did kind of get some free labor there.
Surely this must have been parodied somewhere,
right?
Surely, I feel like I've seen it somewhere and I can't remember where. But the parody of like, I'm going to teach you how to do this just by getting you to do chores for me. Like, there must be somewhere.
I mean, it was they did it into. I mean, it's a bit like that thing in Tom Sawyer. You ever read Tom Sawyer?
Nope.
And this whole thing with like Tom Sawyer and he's such a trickster, right? And he has to whitewash a fence, which I believe is like painting, but if paint is watered down or whatever. And he tricks all of his friends into doing it because he's like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I'm painting this fence. It's pretty sweet. And the friend's like, is it? And he's like, yeah, it's awesome. And they go, all right, we want in on this action. And then he gives them all paintbrushes and they're painting the fence, and he sits back and like puts his hat over his head and chews on a piece of tumbleweed or whatever. Tricking everybody into doing but they didn't even learn how to do karate.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Yeah.
But it's probably been parodied before. You were saying that like Mr. Miyagi is like the archetypal, like what maybe formed the archetype of the like what helpful guiding spirit person.
Well, so
is that what it is?
Let me get my big book out real quick. It's not in the room, so I can't. But metaphorically, get my big book of stuff out. There's the hero's journey, which I've talked about before. This film definitely kind of follows. There's a part of that which is the the wise character who
Sure.
guides them. And a very fundamental part of this wise character is that they don't show all their cards. You know, there's somebody who kind of goes, just...
Is he Obi-Wan Kenobi?
He's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He's the Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? That's what this is.
He's Dumbledore.
He's Dumbledore. He's that
Gandalf. Like, it's the same.
Ooh,
yeah.
you ever see Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Right? He's Stubbs. He's the guy. He's the golf guy with the one hand.
Yeah.
Same thing.
The guy in Kung Fu Panda as well.
Jack
Which is
Black.
a great film, by the way. No, there's
he's
a
the
similar
panda.
character. He's the panda. And that archetype has existed long before this film.
Right.
And I think is also a common one in martial arts movies from East Asia.
Right.
Which this film obviously sort of pays homage to. But yeah, so it's kind of it's a very common feature in the structure of a story. But I think Mr. Miyagi is kind of interesting in the way that he has a friendship with Daniel, and they kind of get on with each other, and he cares about him, and he makes him a birthday cake, and he gives him a car, and does all this really nice stuff for him. But he also, so I think something that's so interesting about the depiction of adults in films designed for young people is that so often they're not complete humans, they're not real humans, you know, because when we're very young, we see our parents as these kind of mythic figures, and we don't really see them as like real people. They're powerful, you know, perfect humans. And then as we grow older, we realize that they're flawed humans just like everyone else is. So I think that so often these films don't depict adults as people with flaws, as people with their own problems that need help and need support. And I just thought it was so lovely to see this depiction of a character who he's not a parent, but he's an older, responsible, caring influence in Daniel's life. But he also has his own difficulty and his own sadness, and you see, and also I guess from a kind of a cultural perspective, so often I think we see depictions of characters, and often characters from East Asia, who are just sort of, they are who they are right now in this moment. It's just, this is old man or old woman, and we don't get to know about their past and who they really are and their story. And so I like how you see his story. And
and that bit when he's like drinking whiskey and he's all asleep and sad, and Daniel comes in and he finds the letter and finds that his like his wife and kid died, and he's so sad, you know. And then you're like, oh boy, maybe that's why he's, you know, I get it. I get why you're by yourself and why you're being so nice to this kid. He gave him, just say this, he did give Daniel a lot of things, like a bit too. You remember when he first meets Mr. Miyagi and he's hanging out and they're all like, oh, I don't know how to cut trees, Mr. Miyagi. And he's like, no, just do it. Just think about a tree. Close your eyes. Calm down. And then he goes, I can cut trees, I guess. And then his mom comes over and he makes them both leave. He goes like, take this bonsai tree. No, also, Dan, you can also have a bonsai tree.
Yeah.
That's a very generous guy.
And also I love that bonsai tree moment because of the bit where he says, like, think about the tree. There's only the tree. Imagine the tree in your mind, and then think about that when you are trimming the tree. And I suppose it made me think about how this is a depiction of trauma. You know, obviously he's had this very difficult thing happen to him, but he seems to be dealing with it, and he seems to be coping, and he's found healthy coping mechanisms and this mindset, which is really lovely. It's really lovely.
I've heard about. Can I just say? I need to say this out loud because, and I feel I don't feel embarrassed because we're in a warm and, you know, welcoming space, and also there's a lot of movies. Okay, so I don't feel embarrassed to tell you that up until yesterday I'd never seen The Karate Kid before.
I hadn't either.
Okay, and I went into this movie, unlike most, with zero expectation. Okay, no expectation. Here's what I knew about Karate Kid. I knew the movie's called Karate Kid. I knew that the bad kids were called the Cobra Kai. And I knew wax on, wax off. And I knew nothing else other than that. And I'm going to tell you cards on the table, I really liked The Karate Kid. Like, I think it was a really fun, nice movie that was sweet. If not a movie mostly about a kid continually getting his butt kicked big time by a bunch of other karate kids.
Yeah. It's like we so often talk about what we want out of movies, and I think I spend some of these episodes essentially psychoanalyzing and diagnosing what I think you want from a film. But I think this does it, doesn't it? It's uplifting. It's heartwarming, but it's not in a kind of, not in a tacky way. It's just got like this good
vibes.
Good vibes.
Well, because
nice.
You know what, you've helped me understand. I super like like films that are the hero's journey. Okay.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
I'm a pretty basic bee when it comes to pleasing me for movies. Give me a moral compass. Give me a hero's journey. Couple of laughs along the way, and bad guys are bad and good guys are good, and I'm pretty much set. And in this one, I just wanted all the kids to stop beating up Daniel's son, because the dude got beat up. He was bleeding or recovering from bleeding for most of the movie. All because he talked to a girl whose ex-boyfriend has rage issues, and it's black belt in karate.
Yeah.
Anyway, I like the movie. What did you think?
I liked it as well.
Nice.
I liked it as well. I like martial arts movies.
Ooh. What are your favorite martial art? What do you like? What other martial arts movies do you like? Other than Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. I really like the film House of Flying Daggers.
Oh yeah, nice.
Hero, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Ooh, I've never seen that.
You've never seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
I don't know. I was watching She's All That in the 90s. I've never seen that movie.
Dude.
I should, though, probably.
You should. It's really good.
Ooh.
And, like, a lot of them have, so a film like Hero, in particular, has this incredible aesthetic. It's so beautiful to look at. Like, it's beautiful to look at. And it's just they're these big kind of they're epics. They have these big sweeping, like, amazing like message about nobility and honor, and these these big messages.
All right, I should watch it. I should watch it. When I was in college, I lived in a dorm, and one of the guys in the dorm really, really loved martial arts movies. And we used to hang out and drink Mountain Dew together sometimes.
Nice.
Because, sweet man, And, like, so I don't remember the names of them, but I've seen a bunch of Bruce Lee movies and stuff. And those were all pretty cool. And, like, early days Jackie Chan movies, those were pretty cool.
Rush Hour?
I've seen Rush Hour.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Right? And also, I've said this before, but when I was a teenager, there were some really bad but great karate movies, like Surf Ninjas.
Yeah. Right?
And The Three Ninjas, which were different movies, but was about the same thing. And then don't forget the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, of course.
Like the movies, the live action movies, especially the third one where they go back in time.
Yeah.
Three Ninjas Kick Back.
So I am a person who enjoys anime.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was a teenager, I was really into Naruto, which is about ninjas. It's superheroes journey. Superheroes journey.
Journey.
Like it's journey. The hero's journey ish. It has that.
Sure.
You know what I mean.
It's like the band Styx. They were journey.
I don't get that joke, but I do get it. Like I don't get it, but I get it,
IKY K IYK.
Sure.
Right?
So I was very into
anime
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anime, ninjas, martial arts. I did a martial arts class.
I was just going to say, did you ever do it? Did you ever do the old
fighting
in the...
I loved it. the reason I had to stop was because I got kicked in the shin so hard that I fell down and I couldn't get up for a solid 2 minutes because of how painful it was.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Shin kick.
I know.
And then you went home that day and you're like, Mummy, Daddy, I will not do martial arts anymore.
No, I didn't, because I was 26 when it happened.
That still could happen. Mummy, Dada.
Mommy!
I don't like karate anymore.
Yeah.
Please don't make me do it. Yeah, I never did any of that stuff. I did I did play a little bit of soccer, a little bit of football when I was in high school, and baseball, and did a lot of slacking, slacking off, and not slackline. And then, but I knew kids who did karate, and I always thought, that thing where it's a bit like, it's not your thing, but you could but you get it, and you sort of been like nod of respect, like, I get it. Yeah, I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah.
Jealous of that cool belt and also that dope trophy in your room.
Yeah.
But, it's too late now.
Not necessarily. It's never too late for anything.
I don't know. I get winded reaching down to pick up a 4-leaf clover, which is a thing.
Which is the thing you do regularly.
Which I do all of the time. Hey, who's to say that I won't get good luck? If I see a 4-leaf clover or a penny with the heads up, The real question is, so we watched this movie, Karate Kid, right? And I understand people feel ways about it, and everyone will go like, wax on, wax off, and it's very whatever. I wonder what the sequels are like, because there's like
happens?
hella sequels. There's so many.
What could possibly happen?
Probably more karate.
More karate. More competitions. More
misunderstandings on
feuds.
the beach.
Yeah.
So can I tell you? So I finished this movie yesterday, and I think I was filled with the karate spirit, right?
Okay.
And I was really amped up, and I was all like, Cobra Kai's are the worst, right?
Yeah.
Daniel's son's gonna win, and also he misses Newark still. And then I remembered that everybody was talking about the brand new Netflix TV show
Yes.
called Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah.
Which is a TV sequel to this movie, which I have to be honest, sounds like a plot twist that we would do to this movie. Okay?
It does.
And I started watching it, and I've watched now 5 episodes of this show.
What? When did you start watching it?
Today.
You've watched 5 episodes today?
Yeah. They're like half hour long.
I'm saying that so judgmental.
You've
I
streamed
can knock out 2 seasons of a show in a day.
You have, for the record, right? First of all, you have streamed more content this week than I've probably seen in my whole life. No offense, right? And second of all, I know that because my wife and I have been trying to watch the movie Minority Report this week, and I don't know why, but it's like because it came out 20 years ago, and we're all like, it's fun, the precogs and the balls. We've watched it for 2 nights in a row, and I have fallen asleep both times. I do not know what happens at the end of Minority Report. I don't know what was happening with the precogs. I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise didn't do it. I'm pretty sure he didn't not do it in the future. He was going to, but he didn't. I don't think he was going to do it. I think it was a scam or a setup, right? But I don't know, because that movie's an hour. It's like an hour and a half, and I've taken 2 days, and I can't watch it. Okay,
it's an hour and a half.
I know.
You're talking to someone who saw the new Batman film, which is 3 hours long in the cinema 3 times.
Which is more hours in the cinema that I've spent in the last decade.
Seeing one film.
I gotta say, for somebody who co-hosts a very, very popular film podcast, I do not have any street cred.
Well, this is why we're talking about films from the past, because you've already seen them.
Because I've already seen them. I don't have time to watch new movies.
Yeah, I watch content like it's my job. Like I consume it on the reg, no problem.
You need to get a job watching content. This is the thing you need to do.
I do.
But look, let me tell you this, right? So somehow, because I take a bus to work, and it takes a long time. I've watched 5 episodes of Cobra Kai, and I have to tell you, it's actually absolutely brilliant.
Is it?
It's so friggin' good. Okay?
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. And this is a spoiler, okay? So like spoilers, everybody. We talked about a movie that came out 28 years ago. But now I'm talking about 5 episodes of a TV show based on that movie that came out this year. It picks up 28 years later. And so who was the Cobra Kai guy who got who lost at the end? What's his name? I can't remember. Not Daniel, but the blonde guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's in the future, and the blonde guy, both of them are in it.
Both of them are in it?
Yes, he and Ralph Macchio are in this TV show.
I love that.
Okay? It's 28 years later. The blonde guy's sort of a washed up, like, guy who's hard on his luck, not having a great time. And Ralph Macchio has started a very successful car dealership called like, what was his last name? DeLuca or whatever.
The
like
chop shop. The karate chop shop.
It's basically called Karate Kid. And in the ads that he does, it's very successful. He's like, I like to chop the competition. And he like karate kicks the prices down. And the blonde guy's having a bad time. And they haven't talked since high school. And he ends up starting a dojo called Cobra Kai. And he inevitably meets up with Ralph Macchio, and they have lots of beef that they haven't talked about, and they're still feeling the animosity of it all. And they keep interstitial like scenes from the movie are in the TV show.
What?
Where they flashback. Elizabeth Shue is in this TV show in flashback from the day they met on the beach and at the dance. It's like the sequel to the movie, even though there are 3 sequels to this movie, and this does it better, and it's so awesome. It has like an 8.4 on IMDb. It's amazing.
I'll watch it.
Dude, it's so good. And I'm pretty sure they're going to karate fight. At some point, they're going to have like a rematch of the All Valley thing. And I bring that up for 2 reasons, for 3 really. Number 1, I want you, Emma, to watch it because it's great. Number 2, I want the listeners in the world to watch it because it's great. And number 3, I'm worried that we won't be able to come up with a twist for this movie because the TV show Cobra Kai on Netflix is the twist of this movie. It's been done. It has been done.
Let's just not do that part of the podcast. Let's just move straight on to the end.
Oh.
Thanks, everybody for listening. No, I'm kidding. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. We call the plot twisters.
That's what we do. Otherwise, if we don't do what we do,
who are we?
And what do we do?
We twist the plots of movies.
Yeah, that's what we do. And when people have pre-twisted it for us, we go, big deal.
We'll twist it again.
For every twist you've got, we've got 100 twists.
We have got 100 twists.
Right?
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do 100 twists, possible twists of the movie Karate Kid.
Okay. It's way too many. That's about 89 too many. I can do 11.
11. All right, we can do 11.
Okay.
Do 11.
All right.
Join our dojo at Plot Twisters Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Hi-ya! All right, you really want to do 11 twists? We'll do 11 twists.
We'll do 11 twists.
All right. Idea number 1. It's the Karate Kid, but instead of it being a movie, it's like a fully throwback claymation TV show, and it's called The Karate Kid.
Idea number 2. It's the Karate Kid, and it's a mashup with the movie Cars. It's Cars 4.
It's Cars 4. Karate Kid.
And this one's a karate film.
This one's a karate film. That's very good. That's actually very good. That's yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
Idea number 3. It's the Karate brackets Nicole Kid brackets man. And it's a reality show where Nicole Kidman has 2 weeks to learn how to be a professional karate fighter. And in 2 weeks' time, in 2 weeks' time, she's going to face the toughest enemy yet. It's real life Ralph Macchio, and he's learned how to do karate for real, and he's fighting Nicole Kidman. It's called Karate Nicole Kidman. The show.
I did number 4. I did number 4.
Could work. It could work. It could work, people. It could work.
I did number 4. It's the karate
What?
kid. And it's a brand of loose leaf tea available at artisanal cafes near you. Which is it's got a deep, rich, smoky flavour designed to help you relax and get into the mood to do some martial arts.
Idea number 5. The Quran Tea Kid. And it is a new take on an old book where we've deconstructed the holy book of the Quran and updated it for a modern, fun karate twist. You'll scream hallelujah when you read the Quran Tea Kid.
Idea number 6. The Karate Kid. Kidding. And it's a slapstick comedy version of the Karate Kid, but it's like a proper parody, and it's stuff like Mr. Miyagi is getting him to paint his house and do his chores, and he's like, okay, now we're going to do washing the dishes, and this is how this connects, and now we're going to do cleaning out my cat's litter tray, and this is the principles of karate. And then he teaches him something which is not at all karate, and then he turns up to the big fight, and they're like, okay, 3, 2, 1, fight, and then the guy just does some stupid stuff and like he just gets absolute crap beaten out of him. And then it pans to Mr. Miyagi, and he's got a little wink. He does a little wink and goes, "Karate kidding,
karate kidding." Quick, Daniel-san, pop and lock, and he just gets punched in the face because he's learned how to do all these dance moves that
do the dancing seagull, and then he does like this kind of like weird move.
Daniel,
and the other guy's like, "What are you doing?"
Daniel, do the cleaning the refrigerator and throwing out all the old food that is expired, right?
Yeah.
And he's just doing
he's
this,
like grabbing
air.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's no good. Idea number 7. You know that thing when Mr. Miyagi was trying for a long time to catch a fly with chopsticks, but he couldn't, right?
Yeah.
It's that. It's called
the whole movie.
That's the whole movie.
90 minutes.
And it's just a man in a room with a camera on him, and there's a fly and he has chopsticks. And I have to tell you, right? The thing that's great about this movie is it starts out and everyone's going, what is this? It's just a man in a room with chopsticks. This isn't a movie.
Yeah.
But over time, the struggle is real, people. He really can't catch the fly. And at one point, he just sits in the corner and is just weeping and pulling his hair out for a long time. So long that it starts out really awkward, but then it becomes really engaging. And then it becomes hilarious, and then it's awkward again, and then engaging. It goes around the block a couple times, and then he finally stands up, nude, okay, and goes, "I'm not going to take this anymore." And
then he catches the fly.
And then he catches the fly with his butt. Right with his 2 big old butt cheeks. And he goes, "What? Nobody saw that coming," especially the fly. And then it pivots to the fly, and the fly can talk. And he goes, "I didn't see that coming." And it's just one of those like animated, you know, in Disney movies where it goes, it's like a black hole that just comes up, you know. That's all, folks. So that's idea number 7, I think.
Idea number 8. The Karate Kid, but it's like a goat kid.
Oh, yeah.
And it's goats. And, a baby goat, a kid.
Nice.
It's goats, and it's it's a karate goat story, and it's kind of like Kung Fu Panda, but it's a goat. And it's all in the mountains where goats live.
Mountain goats. That checks out.
Mountain goats. New goat turns up from the other mountain, the cold mountain, arrives at the hot mountain, and meets all the other kids, and they all are like, "Meh, who are you? Get out of here." Meh. And then they bully him, and then an old goat teaches him karate, and it's the Karate Kid.
Idea number 9. The Karate Kid A. It's a documentary about the famous alt indie rock band Radiohead touring on their 2001 album, Kid A. But the twist is, all 4 of the band are secretly karate superstars, and they decide on this tour to karate fight whilst also playing such songs as Everything in Its Right Place, and also the national anthem, and also Idiotech. Johnny Greenwood, black belt. Tom York, green belt. That's funny. You'd think it would be the other way around. And the other guys. Who's the other guys? Can't remember, but they are both karate masters. It's like it's Radiohead, but it's Radiohead. It's a Radiohead thing, but they all are karate guys.
Idea 10. The Car Ate Kid. It's a horror film about a car that eats people.
Unexpected, but I love it. Let's bring us home. Idea 11. This is a game show where...
You love a game show. Can I just say, you love a twist?
I love a game show.
I swear if we go back and listen to all the twists, this is definitely about 10 that are you coming up with a game show.
That's fair. And we don't know our patterns until they're laid out in front of us. But for this one, and I don't mind if it's a bit of a going to my wheelhouse, but this one is a game show, okay? So it's actually more of a game show / reality show where 12 children under 5 have to pretend that they are in fact karate masters, although one of the kids is a professionally trained karate kid and the rest, they're just dumb kids from the street, you know? And the panel of judges have to decide which one is a classically trained karate kid and which ones are just regular kids. Imagine this, 15 5-year-olds trying to punch a piece of wood in half. And one of them knows how to do it. But they're probably all going to do it kind of meh because they're all 5-year-olds. It's like, is it cake? But, you know.
Could it be better if it was more like Strictly Come Dancing?
Oh, where they all learn how to...
Where they get paired up with
yes.
karate master.
And then, people will come out and, it'll be fun. They'll do a retro, Cobra Kai thing. And then the other guys will be someone will dress up as Mr. Miyagi, and they have giant chopsticks. And when the other one is the Fly, you know?
Yes.
They're chasing them around the dance floor.
Yes.
It's an oversized planks, you know? That would be very beautiful. And then another scene, there's 2 people. One of them is dressed up as a pair of scissors, and the other is a bonsai tree.
One of them is a paintbrush and one's a fence.
I didn't tell you the best part. So I didn't tell you the best part about the Netflix show. at Ralph Macchio's, a.k.a. Daniel Son, but can't remember his last name's famous and very successful car dealership, there's 2 things that he does on the ad. The first is he karate chops the prices to make them lower. Right? And the second is their promise, in addition to great customer service, is every customer leaves, and I'm not joking, every customer leaves with a bonsai tree. They give everybody a bonsai tree.
Bonsai trees are very expensive.
I know. And also notoriously difficult to care for.
Yeah.
But every time you buy a car from this car dealership, he gives you a bonsai tree. And I don't get it. I get everything else was very winky.
I assume that Mr. Miyagi is probably
dead.
Yeah,
he's not. He's dead.
He's a dead man. So he's keeping his memory alive by.
But what I like about it is it's funny, and also it's very oh, I get it because of the movie, right? What I hate about it is it's impractical. But at the same time, you'll recall when we watched He's All That, they didn't do any homages. Okay?
No, they didn't.
Whereas this one is at least trying, and they're doing hella homage.
Yeah.
So, but can you imagine if you bought a new car and you're like, thanks so much. Thanks for giving me a good deal on the car. And they're like, don't forget your miniature tree that you have to care for.
To be fair, I've never bought a car from a dealership, so I don't know what that experience is like.
Neither have I.
Whether or not they would give me a thing like that.
Oh, what you're saying is, I assume that at car dealerships, they all give you a miniature
Maybe
tree.
They give you stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an expensive thing, and they want your repeat service, your repeat
rich
business.
People, am I right? Living the
Rich
high
people.
life with your fancy water bottles and your private jets and your bonsai trees with every transaction.
So this epic mission that we tried to complete of coming up with 11 twists descended into small talk pretty quickly. Which one do you think's the best one?
Of all of those twists?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be the GOAT one, right?
Not Car 8 Kid.
Yeah, go with that one. Car 8 Kid.
Car 8 Kid.
Horrifying horror
New
film.
slasher from
Where
the
a
sequel
car
to
literally
eats
a kid.
what's it called? The car one?
Natalie, Roxanne, Lady. Was it like a woman's name?
Why can't we remember any of the films?
Because we watched so many movies.
So many films.
Roxanne? No, that's...
What? You said Roxanne 4 times.
Is it Roxanne?
Roxanne?
Wait, no, it's probably Roxanne, right?
Is it Roxanne? The car one is Stephen King's. Cheryl
Christine.
See, I got the C.
Man, that movie was so good, except just like we said, get off the road and you won't be murdered by a car. It's a car.
And that's how you'll be feeling when you're watching Car 8 Kid. But it's like, get on the road and fight the car, because he also knows karate, both the car and the kid, and they just need to fight, but instead the car eats the kid. So it's a really complex plot. Anyway, so that leads us nicely onto our ratings.
Yeah.
Anders, out of 1 to 5 slices of birthday cake, how many slices do you give this film?
This might be generous, but I'm going to give this movie 4 slices of cake.
Nice.
It was really good. I liked it. I don't know why I waited. I don't know why I waited literally my entire life to watch this movie, because this movie is old like me. What about you?
I think a 4 as well.
Yeah.
I think I've been fairly critical of our recent ones.
What?
So it's nice to
like the last movie we gave a 0 to?
I think we gave an unrated.
Unrateable. Too bad.
Not rated. So it's nice to have a good one again.
This one didn't have any bad stuff for the most part that hasn't aged well.
The only thing, I guess, is the fact that the girlfriend is kind of like treated a bit like a prize, but she also has her own.
She's got her own thing,
life and stuff, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
Lovely. Well, no, this was nice. It was a nice film. It's a nice chat, nice episode. And can I just say, I hope this isn't, too weird, but you're the best friend I ever had.
Oh, you're okay too, I think.
Okay. Well, all right.
Wax on, wax off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Go also paint my house. You pay my house, and then we'll be better friends. You know what I'm saying? Left to right, side to side.
Right, yeah.
Never up and down. What is this?
Shake it all about. Do the hokey cokey and turn around.
Don't paint my house like you're painting a fence, okay? Because if you do that, we'll go from being best friends to,
You know how I want my house painted?
Up and down.
Exactly like the Sistine Chapel.
Yeah. Oh.
Brown and loads of naked people.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay,
well, thank you for listening to this episode of Plot Twisters.
Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you have the time.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.